Hey there, guys, and welcome back. So, it is time to do this design for the motherboard, which for me is going to be the BTT Big Tree Tech SKR Mini. And this, as the title says, is going to be a bit of a weird design. So, as you can see, I've got the cat in here. Both of these were just taken off the internet. This is, I'm pretty sure, it's been, again, as I said in the other stream, over a year since I actually started getting this together, but I believe this was off of the Crowdy GitHub, and I don't recall where I got the Big Tech Tree model, but probably something official. I'm pretty sure that's an official model. So, just to reclassify what we're doing here, in case you did not see the video yesterday, the informational video about what I had been doing with the case before and why I was changing my mind on it. Or if you just forgot, basically we had a whole bunch of other components that was going to go into this. You know, Raspberry Pi, incorporate the LCD screen, 30 amp relay. I was trying to do all that into a console-like or a PC-like enclosure, which then could be separated from the Ender 3 for purposes of, you know, moving, or just as a nice aesthetically, just having the electronics separate from the machine itself kind of pleases me, because one of those things, I've mostly worked with PCs rather than CNC machines in the past. So one of these deals, I just had different ideas like that, but we are not going to be doing any of that. We are actually going to just build an enclosure at this point for the motherboard itself, because the Raspberry Pis are just plain frankly ridiculously priced at this point. I do have a Model B available, but since I found out I can run Octoprint straight off my computer, and as I've said in other streams, I have my old computer I plan on refurbishing, and that could be a dedicated server as well. For those reasons, I don't see the need to have a Octopi running, a Raspberry Pi with the Octoprint software image on there. Don't see the need for that. Obviously, there are a couple things that it can do that I don't think I'll be able to do off the computer, but it saves me time, because as far as I can tell on the internet, I would need an and yeah, I keep on calling it Octopi, but a Raspberry Pi with Octoprint on it for individually both my Prusa and my Ender 3 at this point, because it is not officially, quotation marks there, supported having multiple printers on one Octopi by the Octoprint people. There are other solutions that I've seen. However, I have been able on my computer to run multiple instances, and I'm going to put a video out on that because it's a different way that I've seen around on the internet. So that will be coming out, and that is the game plan as to why we are cutting the Raspberry Pi out of the build design. Also, I am looking, because this will be connected to an Octoprint, I am looking to remove the LCD panel altogether, just have it headless and completely controlled from the server is the plan, so we don't need the LCD screen anymore. The relay is an unfortunate miss here. I'm going to see whether or not I can't do something about that on the other end, and even if I do, that frankly can just come down here and sit with the power supply. So even if I do figure something out with that, it wouldn't be bundled with the motherboard. Previously, that was being controlled by the Raspberry Pi. Since we cut the Raspberry Pi, the 30 amp relay does not have a connector at this point, doesn't have something controlling it, which is why it is also getting cut for the time being. And then there were other little things like the extra fans. We don't really need extra fans at this point because we only have the motherboard, so extra fans are overkill. And another thing I will say about the setup, important to keep in mind that my printer does not look exactly like this. I have a modified extruder up here, or not extruder, but what do you call them? The pulleys up here for the, I mean, it is the extruder. It is the extruder, but I forget what this is referred to on the Ender 3 because it's been a long time the clamping mechanism for the extruder, the pulley assembly. I have a custom one of those, and I am running dual Z-axes on my Ender 3. So those are two modifications that will not be in the model, and I'm not going to bother updating the model to have those because they should not impact it. So, with all that information out of the way, what am I designing here? What was my bright idea that, as the title said, is going to be a bit weird and out of the box, but I like it and I think it's going to be a bit interesting. So given as I'm not going with separate electronics, we're having integrated, I will have it attached to the frame. I'll start off with that. And 3, 2, 1, okay, the reveal. I'm actually going to go ahead and create, I think, some kind of mech or something. Well, it's going to be a mech robot type thing, and actually have it up here on the top of the frame. That's my big idea for something interesting and bespoke for my printer. The motherboard is going to be inside of a robot that is going to be mounted up here, kind of climbing on the frame. And by robot, I do not mean it's going to actually be moving. It's a model, but that is what I want to design. I think that's pretty interesting for an motherboard case. And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work. I do not currently have a support for this lead screw over here. I have one for the opposite lead screw that I added that came with a support. So I will be adding in the support there. But for the most part, it's going to be relatively light, right? So I don't think that it's going to be much of a problem to have the weight up here on this corner. And I'm just going to design it to be T-nutted down is the plan. Now, whether or not these bolts, I mean, chances are it's not a matter of whether or not these bolts will have to be taken out, I assume. Maybe not. I take it back. The extrusion, I was thinking about just using M6s just because it's important that it doesn't come out. The M6s are my biggest ones and therefore, quote unquote, most sturdy. But I guess I could use M4s on it like I do with everything else. And the M4s then would be able to drop in right here. No problem. So yeah, I guess for the time being, we will look at using M4s. So that is the game plan. And when it comes to wire routing, frankly, I'm expecting it to kind of take care of itself. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I will add, cable chains and whatnot apart from the model to make sure everything has their proper stern relief and whatnot. I don't think that needs to actually be included in the model. I'm pretty sure that can just be taken care of. Any wire routing can be taken care of outside of the model. So that is not something I'm going to be concerned about. So, off we go. First thing I'm going to do really quick is slide this guy down. So let me find a browser because I want more space on the edge here and nobody really cares where the spool holder is. Are the bolts with you? Where are you guys? Okay, you guys are down there. So we'll grab that, and that. And, oh, that was the wrong selection. There we go. That. There's that, and oh, I guess all that is the same. What is the plastic nuts and the T-nuts? Oh, okay. I obviously have not been through this model in a long time, so I can just grab that. I thought that was something else for some reason. All right, there we go. This is now over on this side. Actually, so I like it better on the left-hand side, honestly, when you're looking at it. I think just visually, aesthetically, I prefer it on the left side rather than the right side. That does mean that we have to route the power cable up and around. I wasn't too worried about that, but there is an argument to go this way and mount it over here, just so it's closer to the power cable. However, that does put it further away from these two axes, the Y-axis and, I mean not the Y-axis, the Z-axis and the extruder axis, and the X-axis. So, yeah, one of those things. I don't think I'm making a mistake here. I'm pretty sure I'm correct in putting it on the left-hand side, but just wanted to mention. So, you stay there. And And off to building Das Robot. New component. Mech. And where do we start at? So my idea is to actually have it, just for dramatic purposes, kind of be hanging off the edge. So I have one leg like this, stretching downwards, and then another leg bent up and down. And that will be T-nutted there and T-nutted here. The only question then is, do I build it in such a way so that even though that leg goes up like this, part of the robot is touching here, so it can also, the body of the robot can be T-nutted here. And I'm saying robot, you know, it's one of those things, robot, mech, whatever you want to think of it as. It's really going to be, I'm thinking more of kind of the War of the Worlds type walker robot is what I'm thinking of, like a spider type robot. And the only place I hesitate on that is I don't particularly want it to have more than 4 legs. I think 4 legs is fine. And I'm thinking a spherical body, but the one thing to mention about the spherical body is that it's going to have to be extra large because the motherboard has to fit in there. So that is the only issue with that design. And actually, to that point, let me do this. I'm going to drag you in here because you are going to be inside of the mech. I guess I take it back. I'm not going to drag him in there yet. Control Z. Okay. I'm not dragging him in there yet because the mech obviously is going to have multiple components in there, and I don't want to have to keep on moving it as I create new components. That is the concept here. Also, I noticed this when I imported it and dragged it away from the rest of the body, but you should be over on your origin. You are annoying when you're not on the origin. So center, center. Okay, now it's on the origin. Actually, I shouldn't have hit capture because I'm about to move this anyway. Regardless. Now it is on its origin, so it's easier to move around with just the movement tool at any rate. Component. Not that component, just give me the whole thing. Let's get you close. Again, its exact placement will be determined by how the mech actually rounds out, but I want it nearby as a reference, is all I'm doing here. And Fusion is acting quite slow because of how many components are in between these two models. And let's tip you up. 90. 90 please, thank you all. And we'll spin you like this. I'm not sure on the exact orientation. Again, if the body of the mech is a sphere, then actually it can go any orientation, right? It can either go up and down like this, or it can go front to back. It doesn't necessarily matter. If I'm looking at, though, there's the power outlet there. The motor's on that side. So this is actually not bad, this orientation, because the wires for the power will come in through the bottom, and we can put the output wires for the bed and thermistor, or not thermistor. My thermistor on my Prusa broke this morning, unfortunately. So that is on my mind. So if I say thermistor at any point here when I'm talking about the hot end, which this is the only point when it would come up, but that is because I just had to buy a brand new thermistor for the Prusa because it died, unfortunately. And this wouldn't be as big of a problem if I actually had the Ender 3 up and running right now. Whoops. So anyway, the motors, obviously, most of my motors are on the left-hand side here, so having it in this orientation so most of the motors can come out the left-hand side works. The one of these two, I want to say it is a 5-pin. Is the BL Touch a 5-pin, or is it a... Actually, no, it should be a 3-pin, right? It should be positive, negative, and signal. I think that's correct. So it's probably this one. The BL Touch is probably this one. So just thinking about routing. Well, one way or another, it will come out with the hot end stuff, right? So I guess it actually gets wrapped out. It will come out the right-hand side alongside the hot end and get routed that way. Although normally the hot end is routed on the Ender 3 from the extruder. You normally cable tie it to the PTFE tube and then use that as strain relief. So anyway, one of those things, just talking through different things I'm keeping in mind here as we do this design. And limit switches are just going to have to get wrapped around to the opposite side, it looks like, because limit switches should all be on the left hand side as well. Yeah, there's one there. Z and Y should be in the back. Yeah, there's Y in the back. So aside from my second Z axis, which will have to go right, everything else should be more or less lined up efficiently if we put the motherboard in this orientation. Although I suppose, and I'm trying to think if there's any reason not to, or to do it, honestly, because I don't know that it matters. One of those things, spin it around 180 here, have it facing towards the back. The reason to do this is only if you, well, actually, no, yeah, maybe I will do it this way. And the reason being is, in order to service this, you'll have to take part of the mech apart, and it makes sense to remove the back half of the mech that's not visible. I almost said I didn't. I was going to suggest that I not do it this way, only because it's annoying to have to pull out the ender and get to the back of it. But how often do you actually need to do that, right? How often do you actually need to pull the printer up and fix it? I mean, it's an ender, so I guess pretty often. But at least that's been my experience with enders. My experience with ender, and I said enders, but you know, the one ender I have, is that I constantly have to fix this stupid thing. So actually pulling it out to fix it is an issue, which would be a reason to have the board facing forwards, but I prefer not to have the access panel facing forwards. I prefer that to be in the back where it's not visible. Alright, so 17 minutes in, going on 18, and we still haven't drawn a single piece of mech yet. Excellent, 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 excellent. Alright, on to the task at hand. So mech is going to have to be a good bit larger than this, which puts it actually possibly as large as the spool holder, which means if I do this really quick, let's grab a sketch right here. That was not the plane I was clicking on. Fascinating. Can I get the actual... Alright, Fusion. Where's my XZ plane? There we go. So what I'm interested in really quick is, let me grab that and then draw a big circle here, and spools are 8 inches. I want to say they're 8 inches in diameter, but I may be wrong about that. Let's see what 8 inches look like. Yeah, okay, so evidently I was darn close to what the spool was. So if you imagine that the mech ends up being about the same size, you can see how this gets really tight right here. Now, I obviously do have room to move this down a bit more, so it's not that big of a deal. Although, I just remembered that back to the PTFE tube, the filament actually on the ender goes around the side here. I totally forgot about that, which is why it was on the left-hand side to begin with. I actually do not. I've done all that talking about why it's good to put the motherboard on the left-hand side in terms of wire wrapping. So I actually do not want to swap this right now and move this to the right-hand side. So at this point, I think I'm actually going to take the spool holder and move it off the side of the ender. They do make obviously mounts to do that, and honestly I'm not sure why I haven't seen, so most of the mounts that I've seen, give me a second, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Most of the mounts that I've seen for off the side of the ender go like this. Okay, so they're at an angle like this, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not entirely sure why I can't just have this straight up and, well, that's not going to want to move on me, but you get my idea. I'm not entirely sure why it can't just be parallel like this, because the rod is just going to hold the spool one way or another, right? So I don't see what quite the difference is. Although I suppose what I'm seeing here is that having it right like this obviously gets in the way of the y-axis, or the z-axis. I don't know why I keep on doing that. The z-axis. So it obviously cannot go there, which would explain why, and I just kind of drew it up here, but a lot of the time, but normally it'd be down here on the side. I still don't know. Oh, yes, and that is why. Derp. Okay, so then that explains why they normally go up like this, because obviously you need clearance off the ground. Okay, there we go. It's been a very long time since I've even looked at my, well, I can't say even looked at my ender, but seriously considered using my ender. So one of these things, I got to remember how all this works right now. But fortunately, it's easy enough to rationalize. So it looks like this spool holder is actually gone at this point. I'm going to hit Control Z till we got there, and let's go ahead and turn the spool holder off. There we go. I still like the idea of being off center. I'm not going to change that. It's still going to, the mech is still going to be hanging off the side because, again, it looks interesting. So. I think, let's see. I'm trying to figure out the best way to start drawing this. Whether I draw it from the body or I draw it from the feet. I'm gonna suggest I'll draw it from the body. I think that's how this is probably easiest to work. So. Yeah, we're gonna draw it from the body. Grab. That did not work again. Please fusion. Thank you. There we go. So here, let me take a quick dimension here. Inspect there. So 100 millimeters, and I want a good bit of space on the inside, so let's call it 200 millimeters then. 200, which is close to that 8 inches I was talking about before, right? And maybe about there. That lineup is probably alright. And just to constrain my sketch, I'll put some reference lines in here. Okay. And let's turn the ender off for a hot sec. So, square. One of those things, we can either do angles or we can do a square. Yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. So, just round that 25. I don't even know why I put this line in here. There we go. 25. 109, I guess. Just round it. Well, if we're routing 110. And that is where we'll start with the body. So, finish sketch. And actually, I take it back. I was going to do the sphere, but the sphere doesn't actually coordinate well with sketches, so we are going to use revolve instead. That and revolve. Finish revolve. Body shape. Revolve. And my axis. That is not my axis. Thank you. Add a new component. Okay. Rename body. Rename body. And actually, that's going to be body anyway. Yeah. All right. So, general shape. Again, we'll spruce this up as we get going. Let's see. Let us... Do I want to split it straight in half? I think I do. I think I do want to split it straight in half, so... We will... Where's my split button? Derp. There it is. That. And I'm just going to come here because it's been being a pain in my butt actually clicking it on screen. So there we go. And before we do that, actually, let me shell it, and we'll go with 3mm wall for now. And this is back panel. And let's see. Actually, yeah, I know I'm jumping around a bit here, but probably makes more sense to split it actually after I finish screwing around with the outside. So, I was thinking back to War of the Worlds, and the other one I was thinking of, I'm just pulling up some images to get some inspiration here, was, I think it's called the Omnitron or something like that from Big Hero, what is it, Big Hero 5? Okay, evidently it's not the Omnitron. Big Hero, Big Hero 6, derp. I'm fired. Robot. Let's see. Again, just tracking down some images. Oh, you know what? This was not what I was recalling. Huh. Oh, no, that's right. It wasn't Big Hero 6. It was The Incredibles. Incredibles robot. That's the one I was thinking of. Images. Yeah. So what's this thing called? Omnidroid. The Incredibles Omnidroid. There we go. So that is pretty not interesting, in my opinion, frankly. Much less interesting than I remembered it. Let us look at some other things. And I know I'm doing this off stream really quick. One of those things. I figured this was only going to take me a second just to get an idea. Boo, boo, boo. So that's why I didn't swap you over to the browser where I'm looking at stuff. Okay. Yeah, so alright, cool. I think I have a better idea where I'm going with this. And we're facing front right now, yes. So I think I want Yeah, it's between the two. So I was trying to figure out whether I liked a visor or two separate eyes here. I think I'm going to go with the visor on the front. So, let's see. One of those things, spheres, you can't actually do tangents on, correct? Yeah, you can't do tangents on spheres. Which means, let's come here. Parameters. Body size, and I had that at 1 or 210. No, wait, what did I have it at? 200. Let me check really quick. Okay, body shape, yeah, 200. Okay, 110 was the offset on the axis, so that's at 200, right? Yes. Change this really quick. Body size, just to keep everything copacetic, and I'll do an offset from that guy, the XZ plane, and this will be body size divided by 2, and we got to make sure to go in the correct direction, so that's a minus parentheses. Oh, that is a 1, that is not a minus. There we go. I don't know how I managed that one. So that should be tangent to the sphere at this point. I'll take an intersection just to make sure. Hit OK. Did not get anything. Let's try it with the body itself just to make sure. Alright, yeah. Do not have any intersections on the body, which means that that is tangent. Or at least in front of the body. It should be tangent, but... the other way I guess I could check is, if we're really curious... where'd that construction go? Oh, here? Yeah, I'm gonna Control Z then, in that case. I obviously placed those in the wrong area. Finish. Body. Construction plane. There. Minus, parentheses, bodies, divide 2. Okay. Front, body, tangent, plane. And what I was going to do is hit the inspect button and see what it gives me. Okay, it did not give me any results, it doesn't look like. Okay, whichever, does not matter to me. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing here. So, on to the next sketch. As previously stated, project. Where's my sketch at? This is going to be front features. And that did not project what I wanted it to. Let's project body. There we go. Now we can turn the body off, turn the BTT SKR mini off, and let us get, I'm gonna make it a slot. Slot. It's already gonna be wrapping through around like this, so I'm not gonna make it a round slot like this. And otherwise, do I want overall or do I want center to center? I don't think there's a particular need to go one or the other, so I will just go center to center. Center that. And the height here will be body size divided by 2. Actually, body size divided by 4 times... Nah. But yeah, divide by 4. Yeah, divide by 4 I think is fine. And then for this width, I'm just gonna go 125 as a number, and just kind of set this up to something that probably is going to work out fine. The very scientific explanation here. Toss. All right. So again, one of these things. Offsets are one of those features in Fusion that breaks very easily, so I will not be using those. Instead, I will just be drawing in another slot for the inside. So the outside is the rim, the inside is is the glowy eye part. Again, I mentioned this in the other stream, but since the SKR Mini has a slot for NeoPixels, I am going to go ahead and bling this out with some NeoPixels. So, we will go ahead and set this as, I'm thinking 4 or 5. Let's go 5. Now, the next thing that I'm thinking is I'm trying to decide whether or not to go bigger or smaller right here, because I actually want to loft this up is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna get the base down just so that it has somewhere to loft from, because Fusion doesn't have, like, it's going to not, there's ways to do it. There's again, 1,000,001.5 ways to skin a cat. I think it's easiest for me to lay down a foundation first and then loft from the foundation. That's my logic right now. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I'm wrong here, and whether or not this needs to be like, let's say 20, and then this one needs to be like 8. That's the only thing I'm thinking about right now. And I think I'll start with that, and we'll see where we go from there. Bodies from object, that, and let's see what 3 looks like. And it's probably going to give me some. Okay, it did not complain about it just yet, but I wanted to go the other direction. Okay, and it is wrapping like that, which honestly I'm fine with. One of the things is projecting onto the sphere, right, which is why the angles are getting weird here. I don't particularly mind, honestly. It's actually a lot more interesting than I was thinking, although that's not actually getting me what I want. So we will not do that. Instead, let's see. So let me do this instead. Let's turn the body back on. I want this sketch on for reference, and I'm going to grab this plane here. And I think, so let's project that and project the bottom of, or the outside of the glasses rather. Project, please, thank you. Oh, that was project a body, not a profile. There we go. All right, so that's where we're at right now on the side view, and that's where I wanted to, well, this is, let's see, turn the body off really quick so I can demonstrate. This is where I got to make a decision. So that's tangent to the front right there, right? And that being right there actually means that if it's going to start, if I'm going to start my loft should be right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use that as a reference and do a plane at angle, I think, is how I'm going to do this. Let's see. It's, you know what, that can just connect there. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just, one of those things, just me wanting to constrain my sketches. And that is a 2-dimensional line because it was taking both of them. Okay. Alright. So this is where I want my goggles to start lofting from, was my idea. Technically speaking, I could cut back and we would just cut into the face a little bit. That's a possibility. I don't particularly hate that idea just because obviously the goggles are starting pretty far forward. But we're going to see how this looks and then adjust from there. So I got my plane at angle here. Let's make sure that we are looking at this the way we want it, so that is in fact in the correct orientation. So that is the plane we will actually be extruding to. So this is bottom of visor loft is what that's going to end up being. So we will extrude from object there to object here. And we'll be hitting the join button if it asks us. Cannot complete extrusion. Excellent. Okay. Let me do this really quick. Yeah, okay. So let us go -3. Actually, let me swap this around. There, distance to object there. Alright, that is better. So, back to cutting it back further. You see how we're pretty far forward on the nose right here, and these goggles are pretty wide. So I think I will do what I was talking about before and just cut it back to the plane first and then extrude it. So visor reference, visor depth reference. Let's do that. Get that rather set up. And instead of this being winky dink on here, we're going to get a reference point on the circle, or on the circle on the line rather. And we will determine an arbitrary distance like 15. 15 is a good arbitrary distance, and hit finish. And our plane has now updated to there, so I'm going to go ahead and extrude this distance to object there, which I believe is going to do what I want it to do. Let's find out. And now, from object here, distance to object there. To object there. Alright. Looks like I misclicked. And that. There we go. Much better. Yeah, so now that is going to be, as you can see, cut out a little bit. That's not that big of a deal. Although, let's see, how do we want to handle this? I'm going to hit join for right now. I'm going to move this back here, and we'll shell later. Where's my cut? Did I cut the center too? I did cut the center too. Okay. Actually, let's move the shell back up. I think this is how I'm going to do it. One of those things, we make some decisions on the fly around here. I will go ahead and extrude this to object, and let's see, that right there. Let's see how that looks. If it doesn't look good, we can always come back and fix it. Okay, so a little bit of weirdness right here, but this is actually easy enough to fix at this point. At least it should be, because that is definitely round. Distance to object, that. Okay, there we go. Do I hate that? I don't hate it yet, so only other question is, so you know the shelling operation that we're doing here? Yeah, actually I do need that. I take that back. This may be better served as instead of a shelling operation, delete that. It's going to break a couple things here, but we are going to come in here and actually put the shell manually like this. 3. And come back to body, come here, revolve, sketch, turn the body off right quick, that, cut, body, okay, and do that instead. So when we come here, let's see. Oh no. Derp, derp, derp. I know what I did wrong here. Drag you here. That is what I wanted. Yeah, this should be fine. I know it looks a little derpy, but let me just delete that really quick. We did get the flanges back, so recorrect that. Basically, I'm not concerned about being too derpy at the moment because we're going to loft that out anyway, so that's the point. Oh, is this actually a wall right here? Let me turn this stuff off really quick. No, that is the inside of the shell, right? Yeah. Okay. So this... why is it giving me something here? Hey, you know what? Click that instead. Okay. Alright, it's fixed. So. I know that was a little sloppy getting there, but we got there. Let us now go to front of visor, or top of loft of visor, visor loft. We'll bring this out like 5 millimeters. Maybe more than that. Let's see. 6? 6 isn't much more than 5, but I don't actually... Oh no, you know what? Derp. We will just go to the tangent plane. That's a good place for it. And project. Not that guy, this guy. Turn the body off. Grab this guy. Turn it back off. And now we're going to have a smaller slot. Around that. So instead of being 5, we'll go down. Actually, let's go down to like 2. I want it to actually look like a loft, you know. So shoot. I guess I gotta redo that sketch. I forgot that we didn't actually do the sketch on the visor loft. So let us project that out then. Okay. And now finish sketch. Now we can loft that out. That to that. That is a point. That is not my profile. There we go. And where's my body at? There we go. Join, and then we'll have to loft obviously the insides out so that we can Get the cut in. Repeat loft. There we go. Turn the body back on. That's a cut now. Hit OK. Actually, because it's the same size, we didn't necessarily need the loft, but I did it anyway. We could have just extruded out. So, let us clean up a little bit right quick. Bottom of a visor loft. Oops, Control Z. Top of visor loft. And this is rename visor setback. This is visor base. Rename. This one was, what was this one? Let's see. Right? Yeah, there. Okay, this is hole 1 and that's hole 2 because hole 1 didn't necessarily work. Yeah. All right. And again, this actually should be down here because I don't really need that until the very end. Got those labeled. This is visor loft. Whoops, did not spell that correctly. And visor loft window. There we go. And now we are all caught up on being organized. So there is that. I'm trying to figure out, so most of these robots, many of the robots at any rate, there are some that do have weapons, but a lot of them are just walkers and they just kind of wreck stuff, right? Again, some of them do have laser beams and whatnot. That's definitely a thing. But the big intimidating thing, you know what, yeah, I guess we'll put in array arsenal. Kind of like, I'm thinking in like a cluster formation with different sizes is what I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and do that. And I accidentally minimized that so I can't see chat. There we go. Yeah, this shelf right here. What am I gonna do with that shelf? Now that I'm looking at it. This is going to take precedence. Can I just draft that down? Yeah. What if I flip? Nope. That? No. I kind of want to just cut it back, honestly. So, well, let's see what the radius tool does. Flange. Not really. Yeah, that ended up uglier than I thought it was going to look. Again, because we set the visor back so that it wasn't protruding as much, we ended up with that. One of those things, if this was just a straight up mesh, it'd be easy enough to just smush and be done with. But that is not the world we live in right now. Ah, that's what I can do, question mark. Yeah. I was thinking about coming to around the side here and taking care of it like this. So, grab our intersect here. No, not an intersect because it's not on the, not on the center axis. I was thinking about grab that. And I guess we can't actually project out the rest of that, unfortunately. So that's not gonna work, but I was thinking about just doing this. You know what? Control Z rather than using the center axis. Let's do something a little bit better, and that is create a new plane. Plane at angle. We already have the body shape right here, so we can grab that and turn that 90 degrees, and there we go. Now we have a this is the X midplane. Now we can intersect. Yeah, this isn't not gonna work as well as I was thinking either, but let's see what happens with it. We can at least try. Because we're dealing with a sphere, spheres are difficult. Where is my spline line? There we go. Just do this for now, just to see what happens. See, because this is a sphere, it's going to look kind of silly, I think, but like I said, we'll make our adjustments in just a moment. It doesn't look that bad. Okay. Does not look as bad as I was thinking it was going to look. Yeah, alright. I'll take it. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Let's see. Let us see. I'm trying to think of the way I want to do this weapons array. I think I want to do it at an angle towards the bottom. That involves getting in. Let's grab this. That would involve doing something like this, although not there. Let's use that X midplane. Intersect here. And let me toss this in like that, that in like that, and we will call this 45. Nope, we will not call that 45. We'll call that 60. 60 doesn't even look right. 50. All right. 50 is probably going to be what it is, but I do want to change. Hopefully it's this one. Yeah, okay, it is that one. Good. I want to change it so that it's tangent to that. That is still going to be a vertical. There we go. And now this will be, let's see. This is visor correction. Rename visor correction. And this is weapons array tangent plane. Create such a plane, plane at angle through that line, 90 degrees. There we go. Turn that plane off, name that plane, and start our sketch. Project. Let's see. That is, it looks like down here, this line right here is what that is. Yeah, that's that circle right there. That's the center line of our sketch, but that's not really what I'm going to use as a reference. I guess I just use this guy right here. One of those things. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, let us get some arrays in here. And toss some sizes. 35, 25, 18, 12, 12, and 12 for right now. Get all these guys tangented up. There to there, there to there, there to there. And that's fine that you're a little off. We can accept that. Toss in some rings. And get that set up. You know what? These guys can be 2s just because they're smaller. And you can be our honorary midpoint on that guy. Then we just have to arbitrarily decide. Let's see. Let's go ahead and set a reference line here. And we'll just have him quinky dink with that. Just so it's constrained, and then we can go ahead and set the angle here to 20. And what is up with you? Oh, I never set you to the offset. That is why. 3. There we go. All right. So let us extrude. Let us see. I think I'm going to extrude all of this. Distance to object, there. Join, and then come out a bit more from here. -3, join. Let's see how that looks with that off. I think it's acceptable. Unless I kind of like having the outline of the rings, so I'm not gonna extrude the center pieces out to match the rings. You know what? Let's look at it and just, one of those things, give everything a chance, right? Maybe it inspires you. Distance to object, there, and join. Turn the sketch off so we get a better idea what we're looking at. Yeah, I don't like that as much. I give it a chance. Did not like it. So this is weapons array. I wish I could click this to rename it. Obviously can't. Base and the weapons array itself. Oh, stop. That was not the one I clicked. Alright. Cool. So that is our monster so far. LEDs will be here. And you know what? Maybe we also do it in here too. Maybe we also allow the LEDs to shine through the weapons array. That kind of makes sense, right? Although, it doesn't make as much sense. So, NeoPixels are addressable, right? But normally on printers, you don't actually address them. NeoPixel addressable. Yeah, NeoPixels are adjustable LEDs. But on printers, they don't normally address them. I don't think. I could be wrong about that one. Normally, you set up things for like showing what's happening with the printer. For example, idle, printing, warming up, etc. So, I'm not sure how exactly... I mean, I would like... Why do I have an edge here? Why do I have an extra body here? Okay. From object. Turn you off right quick. No. Yes. Yes. Join. Okay. Okay. Alright. Disaster averted. Okay, anyway. We'll see what happens with the LEDs. If I can figure out a way to address them separately, then that's what we'll do. Otherwise, we will just, I guess, cry about the fact that our LEDs will be the same color in the weapons array and outside of the weapons array. So obviously I haven't shelled this out yet. Up here we had references for how far to go to, erase. Here I'm just going to go -10 because that should, or I guess +10 because of the orientation of the sketch, but 10 should be more than enough to get this clear through after we shell. And we can confirm that like this. And it looks like maybe I missed selecting that one. I did. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that's clear through, so we can mount LEDs on the inside there. And we'll back up one because again, we're not actually shelling just yet. Rename weapons array window. Okay. And what other features do we want to put on this mech? I'm kind of thinking I'll call them wings, but let me pull up a picture really quick. I'm trying to find it, and then I will show this one on stream as soon as I find it. I don't know which model actually has the ones I'm thinking of, but I'm hoping to find them by luck by blindly putting stuff into the search bar. Unfortunately, I am not actually a car enthusiast, which is a little bit of a problem here. Oh, yeah. Okay. That? Yes. Okay. So, yeah, it was not... So, it's the, flares on the T-Bird, the Thunderbird. I'm just trying to see if I can get a better picture before I pop it up on stream. That is what I'm thinking of. And we'll click around while I'm on stream. So let me pull this off. And hop over to the streaming software so I can make sure that I'm showing the correct window and not my streaming window, as has happened many times in the past. There we go, and push live. So these little flare wings, I think I'd do them more in a V, but that's what I'm kind of thinking off the backside. Not in that picture. Let's see. Just kind of these triangle offshoots going tangent to the body. I think that's what I'm adding to the body. So let me send you guys back to Fusione. Minimize this window out of my way. And get back to drawing. So I think that would be like here, just below the visor, starting about the halfway, maybe a little bit, no, about the halfway point. Yeah, we'll take the halfway point. And how do I want to draw it? A loft doesn't quite seem right to me, although maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am incorrect about that one. Maybe a loft is okay. Can't really draw it at this angle. If I put a plane at a weird angle here, would that help? I don't really think so. The problem is it's three-dimensional, right? And so you kind of want to look at the three-dimensional. Yeah, okay, so a plane at this angle. So if I can get this angle for the plane, or maybe something like that, and then, because it doesn't want to be straight on, right? If I do this straight on, then it doesn't really flare out to the edge. It's kind of got to be at this angle. I'm trying to figure out how I'm defining this angle, though, is my only issue. We have an X-plane, we have a Y-plane. I think I'm going to put a center axis in here really quick. So, let us through two planes, X and, where's my origin at? X and that Y. So now I have a center axis. So I want it going again up and away. So it needs to go both directions at the same time. I can set up, this is Z axis. I can set up this one first and then set up the other one. Does that make sense? But it has to pass through. It's got to start at the mid-plane. It has to start at the mid-plane. Ah, you know what? Okay, we did not need this. I know what we're doing now. Okay. X mid-plane is this way, right? Yeah, so I want the Y-plane. Alright, so this is my mid-plane. Stop running away from me, Fusion. This is my mid-plane. I'm going to grab my intersect here. And I'm going to put a point. Again, where do we want this point exactly? I think that's probably about right. Let me project out this thing right here, the edge, and I will draw. Well, first let me, actually I take it back. Well, first off, I wish I knew what hotkey actually did this to me every single time. Although, admittedly, it doesn't happen every single time on stream, but it feels like it happens way too often. But whatever hotkey changes your selection type, I somehow managed to hit. So I'm just going to put that point there. Again, that's going to be lined up with the bottom here. And then what we're going to do is grab this and go back. Body size divided by 2. Do I want it to go further? Yeah, let's give it a little bit extra. So plus 10. You know what? Maybe that should only be plus 6. Plus 5. Plus 5. Plus 5. Alright, so now we got that plane back there. So, I am going to project out this guy. And I will toss my triangle up and away like this. And this, let's see, where's my car pictures at? Because these are not, you know, straight up and down, right? They're flared. At least that's how it is in my mind. So yeah, I think I'm going to do this. And let us... How do we want to define this? I guess like on this instead. 15. I guess that's going to have to be the point there. That way. 10. And then we can label these some things. 25. Let's get these angles in here. So that's going to be 80. And I can either just find the angle or define the size here, right? For my triangle. So I think I'm going to define that edge instead. And let's see how this looks. Nah, that's probably not going to look great, is it? Let us see. Nah, that's not going to look like I was thinking it's going to look. It's going to completely detach. We'll do it anyway, but I'm going to have to come back and probably get the back tangent plane and work off that. Where's Loft? Loft, where are you at, man? Loft. That to that. Yeah, completely detached, right. And it looks like it's probably a little too far out to begin with. So, let us see. Let us change this sketch and see where we get to. So. Let's go here instead. 10. Hit the finish button and see what we end up with. And I did not actually complete the loft last time, so join. Yeah. And the reason why this is mostly doing this is because, again, I could have gone at an angle. Though looking at this, I guess I would have wanted to go at an angle from the back plane instead. Let's see, how are we going to go about doing this? So it definitely has to be attached on the back, 100%. It's got to be big enough to attach on the back. Yeah, let me hop back over to Edge really quick, over to the internets. 1 second, there we go. So the one major difference here, which I did not consider, is that these are rectangle, these are not spheres. So the flange there actually goes in line with the car, it doesn't. The back end of the car does not pull away from the triangle. Maybe a little bit, maybe just a hair. Maybe it does get skinnier hair in the back, but not noticeably so. Unlike my sphere right here, which most certainly does pull far away from the edge there. Back to Fusion Desktop. There we go. So, Plan D. Let us see. Okay. Plan D. Time for Plan D. Delete that. Hit the E button. Grab that and go distance to that. Nope, did not work. From that. Nope, can't grab the sphere either. Okay, I was hoping to grab the sphere. Oh, we can grab the sphere. Okay. Failed to extrude. What if I change it to join? Okay. To object to the Y plane instead. Nope. Okay. That to that. Profile plane. I am obviously not thinking of this correctly because that's way off the edge. So let us back up. I will keep the axis around. Let us see. Okay, that's what we can do. That's the next thing we can attempt at any rate. Is where is my X? Not my X plane. My. Oh yeah, that's right. It's just the Y plane. So, grab this, grab that. Body size divided by 2 minus. Let's say. So this is going to be about 100. So let's go minus 30. Okay. This will be the wing. What I'm thinking about doing is something similar to this, what we did up here. Wing depth, I guess. Create, intersect that, hit OK, turn the body off, look at it, project, because again I want the visor as a reference. So there's the visor edge as a reference. Turn it back off. Here is a wing. I think I had that at 80 before. That is not 80. Okay. Good job. Why you gonna do this to me, man? Why you gotta do this to me? You, get down here. You are supposed to actually be horizontal. There we go. And you want to be Quinky Dink with that. Had this at 18 before. 18, and this at 25. Okay. So there's that. Let us turn the body on. Oh, derp. Derp, 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 derp. You are actually, I lied, not Quinky Dink with that. And you are also not Quinky Dink with that either. I forgot. You are actually, I think, going to be right here. No. Bodies. Distance to object. There. Join. Okay. And no, it should be flared out the other way. Okay. You are 110. Finish. And let me try instead of that. To object here instead. Okay, does not like that. So I guess that's where we're at. I didn't particularly like this round part right here. But that's where we're at. The other option actually is to delete that, and we could go back to trying the loft at this point. Project that sketch. Okay. And turn this body off. Toss these in here. And yeah, let's say 3. Actually, no. Let's go with 4. There. And you come back up here, please. We'll see how that works. I don't know actually will, but we'll see how it works. Finish. Turn the body back on. Create loft. Yeah, actually, yeah, that may be too small, but like I said, we're experimenting. There to there, and hit join. All right, one more. We will throw in one more, and then that should be fine, I think. Let's go 10. Project that guy. Turn these off. Turn the body off. Something I was actually just thinking about just now is we could also do this. I'll show you in just a second. Let me just get all this stuff lined up. Okay. We could also, while we're busy making this bigger, actually slide the whole entire thing out like this. Maybe, yeah, maybe keep this collinear. Nah, actually, let's try this like this. Okay. So, the only problem is dimensioning it. This was 18 before, so I guess I'll call this 20. And this was 25 before. Huh. You're really driven at this point? Oh yeah, I got all the angles in there. So instead, I'll make this 27 is what I was going to do. And we will set an offset here. 2 and 2, and that locks it in. Make these guys like that, and let's see how that looks. Create loft. Lofty. Turn that back on. Hit the join. Okay, that definitely looks more interesting. Unfortunately, this guy gets lost, so let me deselect him and, whoops, not there. Select that. Not like that. Not like that. Alright, delete. Let's try again. There we go. No, don't do that. There and there. Let's turn you to direction instead. And you're going to be direction 2, I think. Nope, that is definitely not correct. I'm just thinking... Okay, maybe I just changed that from 2 to 1. Then in that case, I was just thinking it was too much of a curl right there. Okay. So we will change this. And we will change that one. Actually, let's just make that collinear. We'll keep the vertical change. Whoops, please, thank you. There we go. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's a little less extreme. Turn the sketch off just so that we can get a better look at it. Okay, not quite what I was going for originally, but it's more interesting. Let's also change this one back to connected. See what that looks like. Yeah, not great. Okay. We will undo that. Grab this guy. You need to go up. Oops. Ah, shoot. One, profile 1. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Direction. And in order to get more of what I'm looking for, I think I'm going to come back in here to little guy. Little guy. There we go. And bring these down. 2, 2, and 2. Finish. And let's see how that turned out. Okay. I think I will accept that. The only thing that I might want to change here is if I can draft this the way I want it to. Let's see. Drafting is always so confusing. That and that. Is that what I want? Alright, well, Fusion's not going to give me that to begin with, so I guess that's not what I want in this situation. Flip pull direction. Nope. I wanted to change the angle on this last loft. Obviously, we just used the offset plane button. Okay. So that didn't really give us the angle that I wanted. I guess, alright, if fusion is going to be difficult on that, then what I can do, I mean, there's a couple different ways, right? There is always the plane at angle right here. Go like this. Or actually, that's even better. I take it back. That's even better. Plane through two edges. Oh, that's not an edge right there. Derp. Plane through. I want to get through that point. Plane tangent to face that point. Now, alright, I guess it's going to be plane at angle, and I'll just have to eyeball it. Otherwise, actually, I could just take a straight down view and get the plane that way, but let's do this right quick. And intersect that, hit OK, hit the E button, click that profile. Oh, that profile doesn't actually close right there. Close that profile. Hit the E button, grab that, and distance all. And hit OK. I wanted it flared a little bit at an angle, is what we're doing here. I guess that's alright. And maybe give this some character right here. Let me do this. Try this out. No. Maybe. Nope. 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 Meh, alright, it is what it is. Let us mirror it over because frankly it's not, I'm not as happy with it as I thought I'd be, even though we just got it done. But we'll see what happens. That and that, and my center line is the X plane, and identical just to make sure. Meh. Let me come down here. This is a fun design stream, you know? Let's do that. Do that. Do that. 4. And set this to 20. Nah, set this to 18. It's fine. Turn you to construction lines. And let's see how much that breaks it. Control Z. Let's go to 4. Hit OK. Yeah, we got this ugly little spot now here. I think go to like 22. Did that help? Alright, here's the other thing actually. Delete these. Yes. Delete. Hit OK. Change this to new body. And then we can instead split this on that. Which one of these? That plane. Without damaging the main body. And alright, well, we will remove that. Move you back here. Bodies. Select that guy. Hit OK. And come back to down here and do a little bit more tweaking. So this will change to being collinear this time, so that it's out a little bit. Let's see how that looks. And then we can always come back in here and play with this a little bit. See how that changes it. And actually, here's the other thing. We could... Okay, so let me hit Control Z a couple times. Control Z. Okay, here's the other thing I'm thinking. Is... I kind of want to take this face and extrude this face out and just scallop out the side of the body. So cancel, grab that plane. That is not the plane I was looking to grab. There we go. Project out that. Or I guess maybe intersect that. Intersect that. Toss this in here and that parallel to that up to that line. This, so this actually could be something like this. I'm not terribly opposed to that. Let's call that a 90. And then that distance all object to cut, not that one. Doesn't quite get it though, which is odd because I'm on the mid plane, so everything should be getting smaller. Oh, that's why, because I'm on the mid plane, everything gets smaller. You see what I'm doing here though. I'm trying to just scallop this out and bring this down into the wing. Let me do this and let's look at it one more time. Okay, here's something we can try. We can actually do both of these, right? Let's try that. Distance all. Again, don't cut the other one. It doesn't quite line up. Alright, I think this is probably enough toying with that, and I'm just gonna leave it as is and call it fine. Don't know if I'll call it good, but might definitely call it fine. Combine that, and that. Key. Yeah, not quite what I was looking for, but it is definitely a thing. There's definitely some character. So, feeling a little bit empty, but at the same time, there does come a point where you need to stop adding details because adding too many details does just become a mess. So I think that is where we are going to stop with that, and now I'm going to do the connections for the back panel, is what I'm thinking. Just getting some things labeled here. This was... Where are you at? Are you the back loft? Okay, wing, back loft. And you are wing shear. And this is the wing here. Rename wing shear. Remove wing shear. Mirror wings. Combine wings. Okay. Done in under 45 seconds. So now we hit the revolve button and the split, and now we can come in here and start putting the bolts in. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem there. Let's see. Two ways to fix this. One, we can come in here and play with this number right here. Give ourselves a little bit thicker walls and see what happens. Because the thicker the wall, the less will be displayed. That doesn't really help us much. I think I'm going to go back to 3mm here and do the other way, which is to grab the bottom. Nope. Where's the... Where is the setback? That's it, right? Left? Oh, okay. That is correct. Okay. It didn't look like it was correct to me, but obviously I am incorrect. So we grab the bottom of visor loft, intersect this, project that, and actually I guess we didn't need to project that. Control Z, hit the enter key, do not hit the enter key, grab that, bring that across and that across. Huh. Oh, that's because my circle is off. That is why. I will just go through the center then. Actually, I take it back. Let us just complete our circle. There we go. You are stuck, right? Yes. Okay. Grab that. Turn the body back on. And just fill this area in. Distance to object. There. And join. Or not join. That? No. Okay. I was just looking to fill you in, honestly. I just wanted you to extend to your best capabilities. Let's turn the back panel off really quick. I honestly just wanted you to extrude forward. Let us see. No. Alright, Control Z a bunch, because that's not working. Yeah, my biggest problem is that this was a custom... Okay, where's this at? Where's this at? Visor correction? Yeah, okay. Let me drag this straight down then. No, you should not be... I have no idea what you're centering on. I just know you should not be centered. I'm thinking this is going to work, but I'm not 100% sure. So, at this point, if I come back up here and hit the revolve button, grab that axis, and no. Okay, that's not going to work now. So not the revolve. What about extrude? Distance, symmetric, all, join. I think that worked. I think that worked. Okay, we just gotta fix it up a little bit. Visor correction. We don't need all of that, so we will just go from here, right angled, to here. Okay. Finish. Distance all, symmetric, and join. Join, and then this guy up here. Can we get the top of this? No, we can't. Okay. Toss a plane at angle here. Intersect. Okay. Project here. Okay. Turn the bodies off. Extrude. Get rid of this other one so I can actually see. Extrude that. body. To distance to object here. Closest one. To body. Join. Alright, how about here? Join. Not quite correct. Ah, okay. But okay, let's delete this. Delete this and move the loft up instead. Can I move you guys up? What are you stuck on? Alright, delete that. What breaks if I do that? This. Why does this break? What is this to begin with? Wings middle loft. Wings middle loft. Oh, because the visor has reference. That's right. Okay. So let's hit Control Z. Control Z. And I know I was saving this for later, but I guess let's see if we can't make this work beforehand then. In that case, things happened. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait a second. No. Okay, this is different. Okay. Go forwards. So this is actually different. So I can toss this plane in here now, right? Or maybe not. Funny thing is that looks right. That doesn't look like that's changed any. Oh, okay. We lost part of the profile, that's why. Control Z. This one? Okay, that one. Close that up then in that case. Let me hop down here right quick, then drag you back. Yeah, okay, that's all that is. So delete that. Come back here and re-extrude that. Visor correction. Distance. All symmetric. Join. Okay. Turn this sketch off right quick. There. Do I still got a hole right there? I don't think I do. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that should be correct at that point. Now, what else did I break here? Nothing? Let's look at our wings. Our wings are good. Alright, alright, alright. Cool, we fixed it. Awesome. Alright. So, now on to what we were talking about before. Actually, you know what? We have a good bit more to go yet anyway. So, I think I'm actually going to end it right here, right at the 2-hour mark. And save the arms and the bolts for later. The bolts, one of those things that might be another half an hour. And then the legs, arms, whatever you want to call them, that will be probably some amount of time, some non-zero amount of time after that. So it's one of those things. We have plenty of more streaming time, and I can't print anything yet anyway because my printer is broken. So, wait, how did I end up with a square right here? Huh. It wasn't like that before, right? Huh. Do I have a little bit of a profile right here? I do. How did that happen? Fascinating. I do not know how that happened. Alright, well, we learn a little bit more every day, right? Get just a little bit smarter. Grab that profile. Oh, and that profile breaks it, huh? Really? Fascinating. Why does that profile break it? Alright, never mind. I guess we have... I guess we're going to have those little ridges on our thing. I guess they were probably there before and I just didn't notice. So, since they were there and I didn't notice before, they are staying. Alright, so anyway, yeah, 2-hour stream. Got the main body designed. Yeah, wings are what they are. They weren't exactly what I was thinking of before, but at the same time, they aren't terrible. Maybe look a little bit vestigial, but overall, reasonably happy that we got this far. Reasonably happy that we were able to add some interesting elements to the design rather than it just being a boring sphere creature. So, that's good. And looking forward to... Are we doing this again tomorrow? It's one of those things again, until the thermistor comes in for my Prusa, I don't plan on putting... It's one of those things, right? The electronics for the Ender 3 honestly could just sit on a shelf and I could start using it. I've been avoiding acknowledging that so far, but that's the honest truth of it. However, I think I am... Let's see. Yeah, because the Dremel press is also getting held up. The modification I have to make to the Dremel press is also getting held up by the fact that my Prusa is down. So... we could play video games tomorrow, or we can come back to the stream. Because again, the only other things I have to do... you know what? I will tomorrow at lunch. So I had been working on the stream animation program, refactoring the code in that. I was refactoring the code in the stream animation program on my breaks at work over the past, I guess, couple months now. I had stopped because I had gotten everything refactored and fixed, and all of a sudden my A-star, my implementation of the A-star algorithm broke when it was working previously, and that was one of those I have no idea why this is happening, everything else works fine kind of deals, and therefore I stopped, which is why the stream animation program has not re-debuted after getting quote-unquote fixed, having its code refactored. I'll look at it again tomorrow at lunch, and if I can sort out the reason why the A-star algorithm all of a sudden broke, then maybe we'll do that instead. That way, back to the part of the reason I was doing that was just to add stream assets. So for example, I don't have a loading screen, I don't have an AFK screen, I don't have that kind of stuff. I was going to use the animation program for that stuff, and because what I can do with that is I can set that up to be randomly generated, right? That way loading screens and AFK screens are different each and every single time. That was the idea there, and that was something I thought would be really interesting for a stream. So we'll see where I'm at with that, and that may be tomorrow's stream instead. Otherwise, again, might just come back to this guy just so that it's ready for when the Prusa gets back up, so I can start printing it to get the Ender 3 put together. Or again, option number 3 is maybe we'll play a little bit of video games. Normally just play video games on the weekend, but you know what? Wouldn't hurt to play a little bit of video games since I can't get much other work done at the moment. The only other thing is if I took the night off tomorrow, not streamed, in order to work on the desk gantry again. I have a new solution for that I actually like better, but it's going to take a bit of work to get up because it is not something I normally do. So, nah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I want to stream. I want to stream tomorrow. So, never mind. I take that off. That's off the table. So yeah, anyway, look forward to those options. See what happens. Tune in tomorrow. Find out. Be surprised. And that is everything for me. So, if you have been watching, thank you. And I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're in the world. And I'll catch you next time.